First fitting for alterations, if you're losing weight and your dress just came in, you've got your notification from me and it's like ding, 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 your dress is here. Now it's time to start alterations. Your brain is automatically thinking, oh, but I have more weight to lose, and how do I do this? Do I book my appointment now? Do I continue to lose weight, book it at the end? This video is for you. I'm gonna walk you through the process, and I'm also gonna make sure we address the fear that you have, which is you don't wanna pay for your alterations twice. You don't wanna go to your first fitting, lose more weight, and then pay all over again.
We're gonna cover everything on this guide. You can also download it in the description below.
Your brain is automatically trained to think that in bridal alterations, you have to wait to the last minute and book your appointment at the very end because you are losing weight. So we can do it the old-fashioned way, which is come at the last minute when you're super spread thin and you're stressed out and you're ready to just get married. Decision-making is not fun at that point. I do not want you starting your alterations at that point when I could have seen you way before. Do you need your link to book? Perfect! I've linked it in the description below. Tell me about yourself and I'll get your form and get you started. Back in the day, we would have brides come in at the very last minute. It's like, okay, if you're losing weight, come at the very end, but then you have fewer options in the appointment book. All the good times are taken because every other bride that planned ahead took your spot. And you're also so spent and stressed out. You're doing RSVPs and wedding music and all the food and catering, and you're so not ready to make fun decisions. And your dress should be fun. It should be the thing that you're looking forward to. It's the thing you should be putting first. It's the way that you feel and look on your wedding day, and those photos that are so permanent. You're not gonna have pictures of your cake and your food on the mantle. It's gonna be a picture of you and your spouse. So we need to make sure you feel confident we put you first and that the experience is fun. Otherwise, it's just gonna feel kind of ugh. There are businesses out there like Avas Bridal who have adapted their processes to fit the clientele and your needs and those pain points. If 60% or more of our clients are reaching weight loss goals, what can we do to make sure they don't overspend, they don't pay multiple times, and we address their fears of quality, timing, and cost? I recommend that even if you're losing weight, that you book your appointments 4 to 6 months before your wedding date. Some of you have short time frames and I've already triggered you and you're like, I don't even have 4 to 6 months. Well, you are gonna book as soon as possible. For all of the rest of us, we're gonna go ahead and save our dates. So today it's July. It is not weird for me to go ahead and book my first fitting for August or September, and my wedding is February, March. That would be a great timeline. So don't be afraid to book your appointment, even if it's a couple months out, and plan ahead. If you're a super detailed planner or you have a very demanding schedule, it is not weird to plan your first fitting and your second fitting and your third fitting all up front. That's something that many of you are asking for, and we can accommodate that. And then others will come to the first fitting and then book their first fitting from that fitting and then go on and on that way. Most of you are gonna need 1 to 2 fittings. Some of you will need 3 or more. It really just depends on the client and what you have going on. Like some of you are doing bridal portraits, some of you are not. Some of you are doing custom changes like sleeves and backlines and beading, and then others are doing their basic fit. See how there's so many ways to do this? Okay, you're still with me? Okay, good. If you have a bridal portrait, this is the only time that I can foresee you're gonna have that issue. If you have a bridal portrait in October, but your wedding isn't till February, see how you're gonna need to have your dress ready for your portrait, and then you're gonna have some space between now and your wedding where you could definitely lose weight. I want you to think about another fitting as the difference between a full set of nails, a full set of eyelashes, or a fill. When you get your nails done and you do a full set, they charge you a larger fee than if you do a refill or a fill. Think of alterations in those same terms. So if you have bridal portraits in October, you're gonna pay for the full set. Then when you go have your pictures, when you lose that weight before your February wedding, you're gonna come back and get a fill. The fill is not as expensive as the full rate. If you are not doing bridal portraits, then you would just be planning for your wedding day. In your first fitting, you're gonna communicate to your seamstress and tell her up front, I'm losing weight, my wedding is on this date, I do not wanna pay twice for alterations. Can you help me plan so that I can lose the weight and not pay twice? And you're automatically triggering our process. That's how we're geared. And we're gonna know exactly how to walk you through that. If you forget to say something and you realize the next day or the next week, contact your seamstress right away and make sure she knows that your goal is to not pay twice. There are multiple ways to approach this, and your seamstress doesn't know if you're trying to avoid the cost for the fill or if you are, and it's really best for you to let her know in the first fitting so she plans everything out according to plan. Things to avoid. As a bride, your nerves are gonna be kicking in. You are not sure because it's your first fitting. You should automatically be thinking, ugh, I hope my dress fits. I hope I still love it. What if it doesn't? All of these natural thoughts are gonna be going through your mind, and what do we do as women when we get nervous? We get insecure and we start stress buying. If you find yourself stress buying, you're probably gonna be purchasing all these undergarments that you do not need, and you're gonna be buying all these accessories that you do not need. I highly recommend attending your first fitting with your seamstress and trying on our undergarments and trying on our accessories. If you already know because you've shopped both our undergarments or accessories and you know, yeah, it's not for me, I need other things, or maybe you've seen some of the other videos or we've talked about other options for both of these, then go ahead and purchase those things that you know you need. I hate to see you stress buying, and it's so common and natural, so I want to touch on this. If you find yourself doing it, fight the urge. Tell yourself, I'm just stress buying because I'm nervous about my first fitting. Sue has told me this is natural. I'm gonna fight the urge. I'm gonna get to my appointment and make sure that I really need all of these things. What do you need to bring to your first fitting? The basics, you need your wallet, your dress, and your shoes. A lot of you forget your shoes and it's like, no, you literally have to redo your fitting if you forget your shoes. And especially if you're an out-of-town bride, even if you're wearing flats, you're gonna hate yourself if there's any change in your heel that changes your hem. If you're a laid-back bride, you're not gonna care. If you're a detail-oriented bride, you are going to care. So make sure you have your shoes now and make that your homework for when you go and book your appointment. The minute you book your appointment for alterations, in your brain you think, okay, my homework is to get my shoes. You are going to hate life if you go and pay for your alterations in your hem, then you change your shoes, or maybe your options aren't what you thought they would be, and you're gonna be so disappointed when you invested all those funds into your hem and now you're having to change it over the smallest thing. We're not gonna do that. You've got your plan, you know what to do. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do Wednesday videos and everything that has to do with your dress, bridal, alterations, accessories, the whole process. I need you there.
I've linked my contact information in the description below.
Now it's time to hear from you. Were you nervous about your first fitting? When your dress came in, you got the email and text from me, were you kind of like, oh, I don't know. Were you a mixed bag of emotions? Comment below and let me know if you can relate. Share this video with your mom or your decision makers. That way they know the process and they can support you by knowing where we're going. See you soon.
If you do not live in the area, consider working with me remotely. I have an amazing video process and I'll walk you through it. Here's the infographic from this video.